we are back with another episode. Look, we
My
disappeared.
Peloton comes tomorrow, and I'm so excited about it because slowly but surely,
Ooh.
y'all gonna see my face go down, and I'm just really excited. Yeah,
Okay, so you about to work off that Thanksgiving food. Wait, are you gonna start like before Christmas, after Christmas? Are you gonna grub on
oh, we
Christmas?
gotta go now. I looked in the mirror the other day, and when you do a double take, you're like, but it's not like a sexy. You're like, yeah, it's time.
Okay,
It's
but
time.
are you giving your okay? Not even for the holidays, because I think everybody gives themselves holiday grace, right?
Sure.
Are you
I,
giving yourself quarantine grace?
Unfortunately, I've given myself way too much grace, and so now we need to get something together.
But it's the thing, like everybody's trying to get quarantine thick. They got a song out about it now. Like,
Shout out to Two Chainz and Mulatto. I think it's a very hip song. I love it. However, I want to get to a place of health, and like working from home now is very sedentary lifestyle. So I have to do something to like maintain. I want to feel good about myself. Like my man thinks I look good. My friend think I look fine. Like that's cool. I want to feel like good about myself. So here we are.
okay. Well, welcome to the Scoop with Cindy and Coop. Okay, we out here trying to feel good about ourselves. I'm not gonna lie,
Period.
I have like problem areas, where it's like that could be a little pinch here. It's funny because there's a meme that I saw on Instagram that was like, girls be like, if I just lose this little pinch, then I'm like, that pinch matters. I had to tell it like that pinch matters. You have no idea. It can be all the difference in how it looks, how something fits or how something looks in a picture or whatever. Not that I'm doing it for the gram or anything, but like, I want to
Well,
I want to like the way I look.
I think once you are a retired athlete, you don't do it for training. So now it's really is just aesthetics. Like I do want to look good for the gram. I do want to pop out. So
You're like, let's be
I,
real here. This is the reason.
I have
Who
no
we fooling?
shame.
Who
like
are we
I,
fooling? Okay.
I can't wait to take my 31st birthday picture. Like okay. So we're going
Okay.
really hard for the next 2 months.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of sucking it in on my birthday pics, and then at the same time, there were some pics I just forgot and didn't care. So those didn't really get seen.
Cindy is a stick, so let her tell you nothing.
I'm
Okay.
not a okay, y'all have to remember, right? Like, and this is not no shade to anybody who feels like, oh, they're way beyond what they would like to be or whatever. I'm just saying, for me personally, someone who like had a certain shape from track and whatever, and I'm used to being a certain size, to now when I'm not used to gaining weight. Like, let's be real. I don't even know what that feels like on a normal. Like, well, I do. In college, I started to gain weight, okay, and it became a problem for my coach. Whew, track days. There's so many traumatizing situations. Anyway, but like now it's like, yeah, you're gaining weight as a woman, right? And I don't know how to deal with that. It's not all cute. Like some of it's cute. Some of it's
So
like,
you
okay,
should have.
I see you.
And I'm really glad that you brought this up because I just did an amazing interview with the sports sorority with this lady. Her name is Katie Spada. She is a dietitian and she is incredible because she's teaching former athletes how to basically enjoy your new self and learn body positivity, learn just what to eat that fuels you in your new lifestyle. Basically having food fit your lifestyle and not you try and like create a whole thing around food because at the end of the day, you're never going to work out 4 hours a day again. You're just not going to do that for what, right?
Fair, because I don't even want to work out 30 minutes a day. So, I mean, I do it,
Exactly.
but it's like, it's hard. Like, it's a
But
lot
it's
harder than
different. And your
every
body
time
has to also adjust to the fact that you won't work out like that. So it's maybe this is your grown woman body, this is your grown woman season, and there's nothing wrong with that.
well, I mean, that's fine. I don't mind a little extra pounds here and there in certain areas, right?
That's not how
Other
it
areas,
works.
exactly. And that's my problem. Like, I need to figure out how to make it go one place and not another. That's all I'm saying. Come on now. Let me live my best little curvy life, but in the right space.
Okay. And once you guys see Cindy, of course, you all know she's lying, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's
What's our
all
first topic?
right. Well, while we're talking about gaining weight, Thanksgiving just passed. I went home to see family. It was a small gathering of family, not like a huge thing. Saw my mom, my sister, my aunt, two of my aunts, and my cousin. My grandma, I did see my grandma, but she was like I'm not being around y'all. So
Good.
we didn't spend Thanksgiving with her, but she cooked for us. So, that's always a plus. Thanks, Grandma. Appreciate you. I tried to get her to do a boomerang with me. That was interesting. She didn't fully get the concept, but it's okay. I love her anyway. I had fun though. This was like the first year in a few years that I didn't cook. So, actually, I didn't cook last year either. She did. Okay. So last 2 years I haven't cooked, and it feels weird. I'm used to like cooking a little something. So,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm mad because I don't have no leftovers because I came back to my apartment today, the day after Thanksgiving, with no leftovers. Like, who
Yeah.
does that?
Why didn't you give yourself any helpings?
Because like I didn't want to carry it on a flight. You
Oh, you
know?
flew. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
flew. I didn't. If I would have drove, would have been too long. But if I would have drove, I would have been able to. I just carried. I mean, I could have carried. I saw a guy on the plane literally with a big pan. I was like, he had the right idea. I shouldn't have cared about anything. I should have just did that. But I was just trying to make the travel experience easy. I didn't want to deal with too much. Like, let me just get home. And now that I'm home, I'm mad I ain't got no leftovers.
You can still, I mean, you can make another Thanksgiving part too. Like, you don't have to stop eating said dishes just because it's not Thanksgiving, right?
True, but like as we're talking about trying to be healthy and not, do too much, it's probably what I don't need. So,
I mean, you can have protein and greens. Like, there you go.
I don't want no
Uh,
greens. I like greens. I ate greens, but that's not what I'm craving right now. I want the stuffing. Okay, here's a good topic. Do you call it stuffing or dressing?
both goes back. It depends on who I'm talking to.
Okay, so for me and my grandma had this conversation, and I asked her, I was like, "What's the difference?" She's like, "It's the same stuff. The stuffing is just what's in the turkey, and the dressing is just a pan
Mhm.
on the side." But for her,
But
it's literally
we don't put that stuff in the turkey. Like, we make a
she does.
dressing.
No, so
Okay,
she
yeah,
makes the dressing
yes.
on the side, and she stuffs the dressing like in the turkey once the turkey's done. Like once the turkey's done, she puts it in there because she likes the flavor from the turkey to get into it. Girl, don't think that thing is good. Don't be.
We just
It's,
bake the dressing. We bake the dressing, and then like that's separate
it's the
from
same
stuff.
thing though. It's literally baking just inside the turkey after the turkey's
Sure,
already done. So it's just getting a little
that's
extra
after,
flavor.
but a lot of people don't do that. Some people bake it in. And that's nasty.
Oh, like the turkey's not done, and then they put it in there, and they bake. Oh no! Oh no! That sounds like all types of stuff that shouldn't be. I don't know about that. The turkey releases a lot of stuff that you do typically put into the dressing, so I guess it kind of makes sense.
Oh my god, that
But
is
I don't
funny.
know. It just sounded like that. Don't sound like it's right. Like it sounded like you gonna overcook the stuffing as well inside. Nah,
I eat my dressing on the side.
she cooks the turkey. And then she takes it out and then she stuffs it and puts it back into like browning, basically.
Yeah, no, these people I've seen like stuff it as it's like white, not brown.
Okay, well, yeah, no, that don't happen over here. That is an interesting topic. Every year holidays come around. I mean, obviously year round. There's always the differences of I don't want to say it, but white people cooking and black people cooking. And they said the lack of seasoning and whatever. So when the holidays come around, it gets real ridiculous. And I didn't see a few struggle plates.
I
Um,
just don't know why people feel like they have to show what everybody else probably is eating as well. Like, it's okay to just eat your food and that be that. Like, Instagram does not have to eat first on Thanksgiving.
and then also like, why even subject yourself to the ridicule? Because someone's always gonna have something to say. You know what I mean? Like your food could look bomb, 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 and someone will be like, ugh, that's not. You know what I mean? There's always gonna be something off for somebody. So like, why? Like, just enjoy
I'd
your meal.
rather just enjoy my food in peace. Exactly.
Okay, like I like what I like. I know what she cooking. I'ma eat and enjoy. I hope you
Right.
enjoy your meal.
Period.
Period.
But yeah,
Okay, so
Thanksgiving was good.
what were your Thanksgiving plans?
So I went to my boyfriend's ex coach's house. So we did that. But before we did that, we went via Zoom to
Oh,
family's house. So he saw my mom's side of the family for an hour. Then we went to his coach's house, and then went and saw my dad's side of the family. So we're working on doing that for Christmas too, because you can't travel. They live in like Texas, some live in Kentucky. Everyone lives all over, and so obviously traveling right now for a lot of us with pre-existing conditions is not realistic. Some people are more anxious than others, so it just helps see each other's faces beyond just a text or call. Having
Right.
that camaraderie feel, trying to be better. My aunt mentioned, just the idea. One of my grandmother's last wishes was to get us all together. So she's doing her
Oh,
damnedest to try and like ensure that we do that at some point. So yeah, just go. Hopefully we can get in person, but for now, honestly, I probably saw more people than I would have seen, if we had done it regular style. So it was
yeah.
nice.
Okay, so that means you got into your what? Your cooking bag?
I had to because
Ooh,
everyone
ooh.
doesn't. Well, everyone likes to have their own stuff in like our family. Like we
Mm,
all cook still like by ourselves, but we contribute. So we did like a progressive dinner type thing. I
okay.
made yams, mac and cheese, and greens for the family and shared. And then
Okay.
my mom gave us like a box full of food with like turkey,
Ooh.
beef, rolls, pies,
So you got
rice.
leftovers, is what you telling me.
Oh, our fridge will never be
Mm,
this full again.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Our And then it was funny because my boyfriend like tried to contribute to like next time like you should add some pepper to the mac, and I was like, how about next time you cook the mac?
He tried to shade.
It
He
wasn't
tried.
shade, but like he was trying to encourage, like my aunt cooks it like this kind of thing, which is
So why he
cool.
didn't just sprinkle some pepper on top of that thing when it was
And
done? Like,
he's the first one to complain about spice, and so I always try and like be mindful. He's like, I have a Midwestern palate because he's from Michigan, and so I'm like, okay, Cajun girl, I throw spice, hot sauce on everything,
okay.
and period. So I'm trying to balance that because I'll make everything spicy, and I love it. So
Yeah, I'm a fan of spice too. You gotta give me that seasoning. I need to
yeah,
taste something.
yeah.
But I mean, if it's not to your liking, just sprinkle a little bit some on top. You don't gotta
He
say
ate,
too much.
he ate every
Cause
last bit and then some.
okay. So the complaints are just to just be talking, basically.
Just suggestions. We don't call them
Okay.
complaints. We call them
So
suggestions.
are you confident in your? Cause there's cooking and then there's holiday cooking. Like it's a difference.
Sure,
Like soul food
sure.
cooking is like a next level. Are you confident in your skills? Like, can you take over Thanksgiving for the
I
family?
feel like I've taken over. Like every year, I get a new dish added to my plate. And so I feel like next year they're going to probably be like, what are your feelings on cooking the turkey? I don't like the turkey because there's too much stuff you have to cut out, like the gizzard, mm, I just don't
Yo,
like it.
that part gets me every time. 'Cause my girl be like, "This just the inside. You gotta use it, huh?" But you
I'm
do
not
gotta use it.
there.
You have to use it. You have to.
It
It's the
makes for
flavor.
great gravy, but I
Exactly. It's the
just
flavor.
start breaking the
Mm.
neck and all that. Yeah, I'm not there yet in my ministry.
Yeah, I have taken that dive, so I'm okay. I haven't got I haven't figured out the turkey completely. Like I struggle with the browning part. I feel like I don't want to overcook it, but it needs to brown some more. So that's the part I'm still trying to figure out like what's the perfect, medium and how to do all that. Other than that though, I'm usually pretty good. But I might be rusty after, the last 2 years ain't cooked nothing. So I might have to Christmas, I might have to just go ahead and try my hand at a little something, something. But
Yeah,
my
no,
grandma,
probably
it's
not.
funny because my grandma's been saying for the last 10 years that I would say it's about 10 years. I'm not cooking no more. This is my last year cooking. Da, da, da.
Girl, please.
Okay, like please, you love to cook and complain though that like
Yeah.
I did all of this. This is such a tiring meal. I'm done after this year. Okay, lady. I just smile now. I was like, okay. But I'm the only one out of the family that has really learned how to do everything how she does it. So like if anything does happen and she decides she don't want to cook no more, I got us. I got us.
It's
We good.
important to pass it down though because it does get lost if you don't
It,
have the aunties and the mamas like helping you.
girl, my
So
mama ain't the one. I said my poor future children ain't they will not have the grandma that cooks the home cooked meals for them. They will not. My mom is good for you, like take you on trips. She gonna be the one to like take them, to amusement parks and have all the fun stuff. But she will not be the mom, the grandma that's in the kitchen baking and all of that. Like, nah, you got the wrong one. That's the wrong one.
Ah, that's funny. Well, if you talk about Thanksgiving, another tradition that there is football. And of course, we saw two decent games. Well, what do you call it? We'll call them games because I don't even know if they're decent. But
Wait,
so
hold on. No, yeah, okay, go ahead. You right. I had to think about it for a second.
so we had the Lions play, and it's for some people call that their Super Bowl when the Lions play. They play the Texans, but they
Texans.
say that's the only time that everyone's paying attention to the Lions is during Super Bowl because they always play during Thanksgiving. That's their Super Bowl because that's the only time a lot of people see the Lions.
Uh
And of course, this was their opportunity to shine. And
huh.
yet again, Matt Patricia is proving why privilege is not always positive.
So yeah, I've seen a lot of Detroit fans highly upset and ready to
Yeah.
see him gone. But I'm like, if you can't control that, we got to figure out, how to make it work in the meantime.
But I mean, he's also I think he's the one who's the rocket scientist. So he's supposed to be a genius.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think sometimes being too smart for your own good has played a part in his schemes and what have you. But I also think anyone that comes out of Bill Belichick's system doesn't quite pan out from his coaching tree.
Well, I feel like too though this game kind of is it's like less about how bad the Lions were and kind of more about or maybe it was. I was gonna say more about how the Texans have stepped up, but then maybe it was that the Lions were just that bad and the Texans were able to capitalize on that.
Are the Texans good though?
I
Are
don't know.
they?
That's what I'm still trying to figure it out because
I
like
mean, they have one of the
they
top
clearly didn't
offenses.
they clearly didn't start good, like not at all. Like we know that, but then Bill O'Brien got some boot, and it seemed like there was a little turn, kind of slightly. I feel like I'm seeing more from Deshaun than we have him on fantasy. Started him yesterday. Thankful for that. I'm trying to make the last push, like trying to get in the playoffs. That last little run, I'm trying to get there.
You do that, fantasy girl. You do that.
I know I never talked about fantasy on here, but you guys, I didn't talk about it because it got ugly, and I didn't want to deal with it. Okay, I'm wallowing. This is the year, probably my first year where I might not make a playoff, and I'm trying to come to terms with that before I get to really speaking. So, sorry, sorry about that.
So not only did you have the Texans and the Lions, you also had the Washington football team and the Cowboys, which was abysmal. But I think the Cowboys just weren't in there mentally. I think that having their coach pass away this past week was just something that.
Yes.
How do you play after that? How do you try and pretend? Right. Yeah. How do you pretend that things are fine?
I think I know we've talked about this multiple times. We are dealing with weird times, hard, difficult times for people with the virus and just having to maneuver around that. So dealing with deaths has been a major part for a lot of people this year, on top of injuries and whatever else the case may be. There's just a lot, coming down on people. But it is unfortunate they had to play through those circumstances. We have seen I would say a lot of players have to play through family losses and stuff like that. So it's not something that we're not used to seeing, but as losing your coach and that's affecting the team all across the board, that is unfortunate. But okay, we do oftentimes see that be the driving force for them to actually win. And that was not the case in this. And I'm not saying that should have motivated them to get the win. Like, obviously, I'm sure they went in hoping they were going to get the win, blah, blah, blah. But we've seen some struggle, and particularly from Zeke. Your boy is fumbling a lot this year. And it's a lot of people I saw in the timeline was asking what's up with him. He's not the same. Any thoughts there?
I don't think that he's focused. Ever since he got paid, he ain't really been Zeke of old.
Hate that though. I really hate the idea of like people get paid and then they're not worth what they got paid.
I don't say he's not worth what he's paid. He is worth what he's paid, but I'm saying his productivity has decreased, like statistically, ever since he got his big check. That's just facts. It's not like
I'm saying,
that's not like, oh, he just shut it down. Like that's statistically facts. It's not like, oh, that's the reason or boo him for doing that or that he said I got my money by, but statistically he has not shown up.
yeah.
So
Well, Washington football did, and their rookie Antonio Gibson was all the talk. 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. He's the first rookie to score 3 touchdowns since Randy Moss on Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, that was like a random stat that was out there yesterday. But your boy was well, not your boy, but actually my boy because he's on one of my fantasy teams too. So my boy was playing on yesterday. He's kind of had like his season has been on a trending upward fashion. He kind of didn't start off too well, but Washington football didn't start off too well this season. Yesterday they enjoyed that win for sure. So
one team
yeah,
we did
but
not see during the Thanksgiving traditional game schedule is a night game, which would be the Steelers and the Ravens.
and can I say I really missed it? Like I had to work yesterday, and my shift got so boring once that second game went off. I was like, dang, I ain't got nothing to do now.
Well, COVID is crazy out here, and
Yes, it is.
unfortunately, a Ravens coaching staff member decided that he was not going to follow protocol, and he has since had a super spreader amongst the team, including players. And star quarterback Lamar Jackson is actually on the list now. Won't be playing on Tuesday's game if they make that up then. Facilities are shut down till Monday. So they're supposed to play on Thursday night as well as the Cowboys, but unfortunately that has to be rescheduled to the following Monday. So it's just all a cluster. But I mean, at the end of the day, the NFL thought that they weren't going to have these problems. That's very, the audacity, right? Because
The audacity. You had the nerve to think that you were going to avoid it, and you didn't come up with an actual plan. There was no bubble. There was
yeah,
no real quarantine situation to keep these players away from situations, staff as well, clearly. Now, here's something I think that is interesting. Well, not interesting, but it's like funny to me because I agree. Players were saying, like, let us know who the staff member was because whenever we mess up or do anything wrong, y'all are quick to blast us and put us
yeah.
out there. And I think that is true. That is fair. Like you had the um what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, responsibility. You have the responsibility to do just as what you're asking the players to do. Stay safe, stay away from situations, like keep yourself out of situations that could put you in danger of COVID. Granted, you could be doing all that and still get it. Obviously, we know that because this is one of those things. It's airborne. You never know. You could be in a situation you catch it. But I do think like we're blasting out who has it. Why not say the staff member too? It's only fair.
I mean, I get it. There might be different HIPAA rules in place for staff members and
Yeah,
their need
because
to
of your
air it out.
occupation. Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand why there may be hesitancy, but at the same time, like, what does that do for anybody at this point? I don't think that they should announce anybody who has it personally. I think that all should be your own privacy, but clearly people find out and do their digging, or the FBI, Twitter will tell you, like who didn't show up for practice today. They'll
Well,
name
it's
people.
it's kind of sucks though because if anybody ever was like, oh, I have an illness, I'm out, like I'm gonna miss a game. Okay, we think nothing of it. But because it's COVID, COVID has become one of those things where it's like saying you have like something you don't want to, tell people you have as if it's like an STD. I didn't want to say that, but that's how we're using it. You know what I mean? Like that's really what it's looking like. And it's like reality, no, it's still just a virus, a sickness. Like you need to keep people aware because for one, let people know what it is that you're actually going through when you're having it. Everybody experiences different symptoms, but someone out there could be identifying with, like here's something you have and be like, oh shoot, I've been experiencing that. I wonder if, just because this is still one of those things where we're still learning about it. We're still trying to figure out what it is. So it should be a let me share for that purpose and not on some let me share and I'm worried about getting ridiculed for it, because you really don't know how you contracted it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you were being irresponsible and out. Yes, that's what it looks like and that's the stigma behind it, but literally you could have been walking in the grocery store, had your mask on, but someone got too close or you touched something that somebody else, it's so many ways that things can happen. So I think it's kind of unfair that I guess that people that do have it are being looked at as like, ew, like what'd you do? Like, that type
Well, sure, but I also think at the end of the day that we're very blessed that none of these players have had anything severe, had to be hospitalized, had severe symptoms or anything like that. Like it has been a lot of asymptomatic cases. So we're definitely counting lucky stars left and right, and I hope that that's how it stays. Like at the end of the day, positive tests, we don't want that. No one wants to feel like they have COVID right now, of course, because those symptoms can develop at any time. But at the same time, I'm glad they're mild for a lot of people. And hopefully we can just get through the season. Jesus, I just want to get through the season. I want to get through every season because, I mean, if you think about basketball, it's literally right down the corner. We're about to start preseason games and trying to be indoors in all these facilities and traveling. I'm very interested to see how this goes because you can only make up 72 games, 82 games in a season. Like, how are you going to make all those up time and time again? Because there are going to be cancellations and postponements as well. So interesting to see how Adam Silver, who is, heralded as the Mr. problem solver, fixer of everything, has all these like bulletproof, ways and systems of going about things. Okay, now you're going to try to have regular season. Here we are. Y'all talk shit about Roger, but your turn.
I literally was gonna say how ugly it's gonna be that you came from getting praise for this bubble system and doing it right and figuring it out to now going to a regular season of traveling regular and like why would you not come up with a plan? I'm not understanding this. You just did it very successfully.
Because you want people to be able to watch games because you know that a lot of these teams need that money. And at the end of the day, cash will always be king. So I wish we would get back to the root of why we're all here, why we're all sitting here watching any sports right now is because cash is king. So, you might play hero in the moment, but let's be honest. You're not fooling anybody over here.
Oops. Candace, you're just out for all the commissioners.
Because I just don't feel like nobody should be playing right now. Like, I don't think that Mark Emmert is right in the NCAA. I think they're full of shit. I think that Roger's full of shit. I think that Adam's full of shit. I think anybody putting the health and safety of people for $1 at risk is full of it. And I don't know how you sleep at night. And like, seriously, it's hard. It's tough. It's tough to, every single day people are dying from this. And you're just like, all right, well, keep on the ticking. Keep on, being a show pony for us. Like, thank you.
I feel like we keep having these combos though, but then it's like at the end of the day, who has the real power? The players. So why are they not just sitting there saying?
Do they have the power though? Do they have contractual obligations? Absolutely. Because if you look at the Ravens Steelers game, they're still debating on whether or not they're going to play these guys if there is a cancellation. That's why they're trying so hard to schedule this because the NFLPA is like, yeah, they get paid regardless. And the NFL's like, no game, no check.
Okay, well, let's talk about that really quickly, too, because that has been the thing now where it's like, one, I want to talk about, like, the Steelers' reactions to finding out, like, we're trying to figure out if we're going to have a game or not. And then, two, I want to talk about the whole, like, whether they're going to get paid or not, that type of thing. So, first, with it being like, okay, Steelers' reactions to everything. A lot of people were saying that the Steelers were being childish in how they responded because they, like, the idea of, like, is this game going to get postponed or is this game going to get forfeited? Like, there was a lot of kind of quote-unquote tantrums on Twitter and stuff like that. What were your thoughts about the reaction to the Steelers? I know that we discussed a little bit in the sense of, like, there should have been a little more empathy because anybody could catch us at any time and that could be your team the next week. So what were your thoughts?
The egos are flying high. There are lots of big heads. They're 10-0. They're on the rhythm. They want to keep winning. They want to keep rolling. They want to play their rivalry.
You said Eagles. You said Eagles. Steelers.
No, they're riding on it. No. I didn't say Eagles, but it's okay. They're riding on it. Their egos are high.
Oh, egos. Okay, my bad. I was like, Eagles.
So they're riding on a high and everyone's feeling themselves. Cool. Yep. I get it. I understand that. But damn it, if that couldn't be your team the following week. Like, you can follow every protocol as we see and still things pop up. So it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. I hope that never happens to y'all. Like, I hope for the rest of the season, y'all go straight out, play every single game, and y'all have no protocol issues or no COVID test pop up. Because what are you going to say then? Like, Also, you're throwing a tangent for something that you think the Ravens did on purpose. Why would people try to get COVID to throw
Yeah,
things?
like
It's weird.
come on now. Come on now. It is never that serious. Ever. Like ever. I don't
It's just
care
putting
how.
people's lives at risk. Like, no, that's not okay. Because albeit the Cowboy situation wasn't COVID related, but still, you do have older people coaching, you guys, these players. Anything could happen to them. And then what do? Like, you talk to all this cash shit, and now what? You look stupid. So I think it's
So
just a
I do
matter of professionalism that they
yeah,
lack.
yeah, yeah. You're right. I do think it sucks when it's a situation where like, oh, now our bye week is being pushed back or we lost our bye week. That did happen in some cases. But we've been talking about money, and that's where things really get touchy, right? So the idea that if the game had to be forfeited, nobody would get paid, I would have been upset with that
Yeah.
because that is not something that we can control. That's not our fault. That should not have had to affect us. And even the same on the Ravens side, like all the ones who have been following protocol or don't have COVID or whatever the case may be, they shouldn't have to miss out on their check either because one of or few actually like nine of their teammates have COVID. So it's definitely one that I would have been probably that would have made me have a fit because now you messing with my money. And if I'm already
Absolutely.
putting myself at risk here, and then you're gonna tell me I've been doing this and I've been doing all the right things to try to stay safe to make sure that I'm bringing in the income this year for my family or whatever the case may be. We decided to play. I'm here. We're doing this. But now you're telling me you could take away one of my game checks because someone else got it? Nah, we didn't talk about that beforehand, player. Like, let's figure this out. Let's
Yeah.
figure this out because that's not how we roll it. It's not over here.
Yeah, and again, I think that goes back to it being a entity issue. This is an NFL issue. This is not a player team to team issue. Like, y'all are mad at basically you're mad at the wrong ones.
Mm-hmm.
If you're mad at the wrong people. You can yell at the Ravens, but I mean, if it was, I think because it's rival is hyped up. But if it was the Eagles doing that, I'm sure they still would be pissed. But again, you're mad at the wrong people. You're mad at people who can't control that. The Ravens can't force protocol to be different for them to play. Like, you can find a 53-man roster and go out there and do it. Sure, but I also saw people who were like, well, you have practice squad players for a reason. Yeah, but not all practice squad. Like, you can't equate a practice squad guy
To a
to
Lamar Jackson. Like it's not happening. Not to say that there's not any gems on practice squad because there
sure.
has been, that's they're waiting for their opportunity, and if they're doing all they need to do, they're gonna show up when they need to. But again, you're talking about someone who was considered um, MVP status. You know what I mean? Like in their rookie year, like I mean sophomore year, but like whatever rookie debut as far as like actually full on starting and stuff. You can't compare honestly.
I mean, he is an MVP,
Sorry.
so that's that too.
Yeah, like you can't. I'm sorry. Like it's just apples and
Not
oranges
how that
here.
works.
um. So now we are, like you said, postponed till Monday, Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday, and then that pushed back their Thursday game to Monday. And we're literally at the last few weeks of regular season, and all of this is scrambling. Like they're scrambling around to like fix this stuff around, fix the games around so that they actually are played. If we get to the point where they have to really cancel any games or whatever, how do you think that is affecting playoff system going into playoffs?
I just,
You're like, I don't even want to think that far.
I mean, the whole playoff extension, the adding more games, I think that applies to next year, and they might test it out this year. Who knows? I mean, the NFL creates its own rules. It seems like
Yeah,
weekly. There seems
yeah,
to be new things that like, hey, we're gonna try this, right? And you're gonna
yeah,
like it in XYZ. So if there is ever a league that has no power, who has a lot of power but doesn't utilize that power, it's the NFL. They have
yeah.
so many people that they could, if they really wanted to come together, they could do it, but they just don't, and it's weird. Like the NBA, like they always talk about the NBA, and yes, it's less guys, but in the day,
They
I'm not
figure
coming
it out.
to see Roger Goodell play. I'm coming to see Cam Jordans of the world. I'm coming to see Lamar Jackson. Excuse me. But yeah, like I don't get it, but I also think there's a lot more divisiveness than meets the eye because people think that football players are all camaraderie gung ho. Like, yeah, I play with my teammate because that's my
Absolutely.
job.
Right, period. That's really the case for a lot of them, especially the older they get, because a lot of them are there, like you said, for their jobs, and they go home to their families. They mess
Yeah,
with y'all. We cool while we on the field and da da da, but like not everybody is brothers.
right. Exactly. So yeah, no.
All right. Okay. Basketball. Let's see if y'all make it through COVID and give us a good season. Not gonna
Not
hold my
holding my
breath.
breath. Not holding my breath one
That is
bit.
clear. That is clear. Okay, well, we will be back with another episode next week. I
Sounds
promise
good.
this time. I promise this time. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Other than that, thanks for tuning in, Candace. I hope you enjoy your leftovers. I'm hating.
Enjoy your Chick-fil-A. I don't know. What are you gonna eat?
I don't know. I'm going to go figure that out now. That's what I'm going to go do right now. Y'all
Until
have a
next
good night.
time.
Bye.